Hello everyone, my name is Halvey. In this video we're going to be looking at the lore behind the bosses in Fire Emblem The Sacred Stones. So the first two bosses that we meet, O'Neill and Breguet, are both members of Grado's army. O'Neill is a squad leader who was present during the siege of Renee Castle. He then pursued Erica and Seth as they fled from Renee to Frelia. Breguet is a knight who captured a Frelian outpost and took Tana captive. The next two bosses, Bone and Bazba, are both bandits, Bone being a named henchman of Bazba's bandits, and Bazba is the leader of Bazba's bandits. Bazba likes war, as it leaves soldiers preoccupied so that he can pillage as he pleases. The next boss is just a generic Entombed. All I'm going to say here is that we're going to see more generic monsters as bosses. Just know that there's nothing special about these monsters, just that they are servants of the Demon King. The next 5 bosses are all part of Grado's army, except for Zonta. Saar is a commander and captain of the border guard of Seraphiu, and he is an aide to General Glenn. Zonta is a hired mercenary, and he's used as bait to lure Ephraim into Castle Renval to fall into a trap. Novala is Riev's aide. He was sent to get Erica's bracelet, and he wants to replace Riev at the Emperor's side. Murray is a cavalier who defends the gates of Renval. Tirado is Valter's aide. He is the commander of Renval, and he has plans of replacing Valter as a general. He's the one who hired Zonta to lure Ephraim, but his plan was unsuccessful at capturing Ephraim. However, he spreads rumors that he was successful in order to lure Erica to Renval so that he can try to capture her. These next 6 bosses are all part of Erica's route. Binks is a mercenary hired by Pablo to kill Erica. He only cares about money. Pablo was once a member of Carcino's Council of Elders. During the war, however, he wanted the council to side with Grado. This led to the council splitting into 2 factions. One side wanted to side with Grado, and the other side wanted to side with Frelia. Pablo resorted to assassination to get major control over Carcino. He tries to kill Ennis and Erica in order to gain Grado's favor. The next 2 bosses, a Wight and a Maelduin, are both monsters. Aias is Caellach's aide and formerly part of Caellach's and Joshua's old mercenary group from Johanna. He is sent to kill Erica. Carlyle was the leader of Johanna's army. He was also deeply in love with Queen Ismare, and he taught Joshua how to wield a sword. He is then tempted by Lyon to betray Johanna so that he can have Ismare all to himself. The next 6 bosses are all part of Ephraim's route. Gheb is a Grado commander in charge of Fort Rigwald. He is cruel and unforgiving. Beran is a subordinate of Valter and is entrusted to hold back Ephraim and keep an eye on Deathgoyle. The next 2 bosses, a Deathgoyle and a Cyclops, are just monsters. Then we have Selena, one of Grado's 6 generals. She was raised in a poor town that struggled to pay their taxes. Emperor Vigarde personally sent provisions to this town, therefore saving people from going hungry. This act of kindness inspired Selena to join the army, and she quickly rose through the ranks of the army to general. Her loyalty to the Emperor is unshakable. She is given many orders that make her question the Emperor's actions, though she always sees them through. Vigarde is the Emperor of Grado. He was once a kind ruler with a long-lasting friendship with Renee. When Glenn and Cormag were young, they were arrested by Grado's army. However, Vigarde saw that they had good intentions, and he released them from prison and offered them spots in the army. He died 1 year before the game events take place. His corpse was then reanimated by Lyon and used to orchestrate the entire war on Megvel and the destruction of the Sacred Stones. The next 2 bosses appear in the same chapter, and they are both one of Grado's 6 generals. Caellach wanted to get away from his hometown in Johanna, so he became a mercenary where he meets Joshua. Then eventually he gets into Grado's army. His goal that drives him is to become a king. Valter wasn't always the sick and sadistic person that we know him to be. Originally, he was part of the Imperial Three alongside Deathgoyle and Glenn. Then in one battle, he got a hold of Dussel's cursed lance, which destroyed his mentality, increasing his lust for bloodshed. He was then fired by Vigarde for mistreatment of innocents and slaughtering surrendered opponents. He is then reinstated as a general by Lyon. Orson, before the events of the game, was very in love and devoted to his wife Monica. Monica died, however, and Orson changed completely. He betrays Renee and sides with Grado in exchange for Monica's resurrection, and he basically goes insane. He's the one ruling over Renee in Erica and Ephraim's absence, and he's not doing a very good job. As Renee's citizens are suffering, he refuses meals and stays in his chambers with his wife. His wife was not really brought back to life, as she only says darling repeatedly over and over again. However, Orson's so unstable that he doesn't really care. Then we just have a generic Gorgon as a boss, a monster. Riev was once a priest of Ralston, however he was cast out for worshipping the Demon King. He then became one of Grado's 6 generals because of his power to control monsters. Morva was leader of the Manakee tribe in Darkling Woods. He was also the leader of the 5 heroes who defeated the Demon King 800 years ago. He is a foster father to Myr. He watches over the Demon King's body. He is then killed and turned into a Draco zombie by Lyon. Lyon is the Prince of Grado and a close friend to Erica and Ephraim. Before the events of the game, he used a forbidden spell to see into the future, and in that future he saw an earthquake that would destroy most of Grado. He experimented with the Fire Emblem, which is the sacred stone of Grado, which contained the spirit of the Demon King. In his experiments, the stone split in half and created the Dark Stone. This led to him falling under the influence of the Demon King, and he was convinced that he could save Grado by reviving the Demon King and harnessing his power. And then this led to Lyon resurrecting his father Vigarde in order to orchestrate the war to destroy the stones, and all this just to make sure that the Demon King can be resurrected without any problems. Fomortiis the Demon King. 800 years ago, the 5 heroes trapped his soul using the sacred stones. Grado's stone, the Fire Emblem, is the one that holds his soul specifically. When Lyon tried to use the sacred stone to bring Vigarde back to life, the Demon King makes his move. In Erica's route, he possesses Lyon completely, whereas in Ephraim's route, he strengthens Lyon's darkest thoughts and emotions. Then, even after Lyon is defeated, the Demon King still manages to resurrect himself. As far as the Demon King's motives, he just has a sole desire to remake the world. And with all that said, that is the video. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe, and have a great rest of your day.